that tight end spot, and you knew he would improve. Just needed some experience, and it's arriving.
Yeah, Deegan was great. Our receivers were in the right place at the right time, and the ball was thrown on time to catch them in stride for the most part. And they were also able to make some catches where they had to reach behind them, those hard catches. So nobody's running, before they get the ball or anything like that. And, the Bears are going to want to get off to a good start because you don't want to be down to any team. But, McCutcheon comes in here. It's kind of a rivalry game maybe for the final time. We don't know what our schedule will look like as far as non-conference, but it should be interesting to see what they do with the Berries kind of on such an upswing after last week.
As we mentioned, McCutcheon at 1-3 on the season. Their lone win came on September the 1st in conference at Muncie Central, 34-7 win, losing to Harrison last week, 30-13. No surprise there, Harrison, a powerhouse for many, many years. They started the season with a loss to Hungarian Catholic, 18-10, and then at West Lafayette, 31-17. So 1-3, but they have played a brutal schedule. A lot of teams will be 1-3 having to play that schedule.
Absolutely, and I think Logansport's pretty healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as early in the season, I hadn't heard anything from the injury report this week, and so we'll have everybody on board. Mike Johnson and his staff have been working with these boys a lot this year, of course, as we were getting into the season. And it's just very exciting. I think we've had a pretty good crowd turnout over the course of the year. The student section over there, it's frat boy night is what I've been told, and so they're dressed in backwards hats and flannels and all that kind of stuff. But our student section really gives us a boost. They're right next to the team sideline, and so I think the players are going to be showing off for them, and hopefully they'll be cheering loud for the players.
I might have to schedule a special screening of Animal House this
That's
weekend
right.
to commemorate the student section. But Coach Johnson's mentioned them several times in our postgame interviews how important that student section is to his football team.
Absolutely. I mean, we're trying to convert that football section into the basketball section because we've struggled to get those kids in the seats for that. But it's a great atmosphere. You get to be outside with your friends. You get to be a little more wild maybe than indoors. And so it's cool that it's become a thing. I think it's traditionally been down there for quite a few years now. But as we look down, here comes the smoke rolling. McCutcheon's coming onto the field. They're kind of huddling in the middle of the end zone on the left side here, and we're about ready to see the players run out. And they usually do the run out pretty close to the coin toss.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
We're real close to the action. We got all the officials in the middle of the field just awaiting their entrance.
It's been a big week for Logansport High School sports. The soccer team with a big week at senior night on Wednesday, knocked off Western 6-0. So Coach Turner's team's getting better and better, and hopefully the football team can keep it going tonight.
Yeah, I saw the soccer write-up in the paper, and, to see the pictures of those kids with that joy on their face, I mean, there's nothing better than high school sports, kids really putting everything they got into it, really enjoying it. So congrats to our soccer team. All of our Berry teams really represent us well.
There's still plenty more to come here on the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show. We will step aside for break. When we return, there's more to come live from Logansport. Thank you very much, Alan James. Welcome back to LMH Stadium. The pregame festivities have commenced and concluded, and we are just about ready to get things underway. The Bears in their home black uniforms with red pants, red numerals trimmed in white, and McCutcheon in the all-white uniforms, Dave, with great big maroon numbers. So hopefully we'll be able to see those numbers from all the way up here.
Absolutely, Joe. They look like the Washington Commanders out there with their uniforms, and I just can't wait to see what the Berries have. I mean, they got to start out strong. You know, if they can get that lead early, that's definitely an intimidation factor when it comes to high school football. So I just can't wait after last week to see what happens.
All right, that will do it for the Mike Anderson Auto Group pregame show. We will step aside for a break. When we return, we'll have the opening kickoff live from Logansport. They took the minute 50 off the clock, and we're starting early, so we're going to miss the kickoff. YouTube.
Yep,
just
YouTube.
Don't tell anybody.
That's right.
Between us.
They do kind of shut off our commercial breaks, I think, and so we're talking to YouTube live right now, and folks, we're glad you joined us. Of course, the kickoff about ready to begin here.
Okay, Alan James, thank you very much. They pulled a fast one. They took 1:45 off the clock and started early. The Berries did get the opening kick up to the 22, and they had their first play from scrimmage. Handoff to Scotty Barron, minimal gain, maybe a yard out to the 20, second down and 9 for the Berries. Good penetration that time from the front from McCutcheon.
Yeah, McCutcheon defense there with a great cover on the runner. Tried to go a little bit to the left and up the gut and unable to get much yardage on that one.
Beg your pardon, that was Jackson Walker, not Scotty Barron. So the glare of the sun off those numbers makes it a little bit tough to see for right now, but Logansport has it second down and 10 at the 20. Chris Devalia in the backfield behind Bryson Herr. Now Deegan Kitchell shifts over to the left side of the formation. Walker in motion. He'll get the pitch around the left side, trying to wait for his blockers to set up. They do, and he has a nice gain, knocked out of bounds. Give him about 6 on that play. Good patient run that time by the freshman Walker. And we'll set up 3rd and 4 for the Berries.
That's what Mike Johnson football teams, I think, have become known for, at least in my opinion, is that good blocking, you know, and the good patience by the runner to watch the blocking, to try to follow the blocking, to be patient, not to hit that hole until it's right and ready.
This young offensive line getting better and better as the season has gone on. 3rd down and 4 for Logansport. They have it at their own 26-yard line. Isaac Russell split out to the left. Deegan Kitchell now again shifts over to the left side of the formation. Jackson Walker in motion. They'll hand it off to Devalia up the middle, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. May have fallen forward for a yard, but that's it. Dawson Lee on the stop for McCutcheon. The Berries with decision time. I think from this spot in the field, well, Coach Johnson's taking a long time to decide, and looks like he is going to send the punt unit out, but he thought about it, Dave, but from the 28 this early in the game, boy, that's a heck of a gamble.
Absolutely, and a good job there by the McCutcheon defense as Logansport tried to kind of do some trickery and act like they were going to kind of toss it left, tried to run up the gut, and nothing doing. So the Logansport defense, which is a lot of offensive players, will be out to see if they can stop McCutcheon.
Now 3 guys have shifted over to the right, so Bryson Herr does have that option to run. He's going to run over to the right side and take a look at it, but can't find any opening. He will kick it away. Fielding one of the upbacks, and nice job that time on the return.
Yeah, that flag almost immediately, it looks like a flag. It's orange.
It's orange. Maybe it's just a marker from where the receiver caught the pass in case there's a penalty.
Yeah.
They have a reference point. So,
you know, I've never seen them throw that. Do they always throw that?
Not that I've noticed.
As soon as the runner caught it, he threw it. It must be what it is and why it's not yellow.
So Keegan Rice with a nice return for the Mavericks out to the 48-yard line of Logansport for their first play from scrimmage. And Owen Smith, senior quarterback. And I'm not mistaken, Deb, I think he wears number 11 on the baseball team, too. Owen Smith, a heck of an athlete for McCutcheon. In the gun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. Now bubble screen set up on the left side. It is complete into Logansport territory. And big gain after the catch. Shamar Ray with a first down for McCutcheon down to the 36-yard line. 16 yards on that pass and catch.
Boy, and McCutcheon starts off pretty fast.
And they're speaking of fast, they're already to the line of scrimmage, ready to snap this play, so the Bears will have to be alert. I'm sure they saw that on the game film that McCutcheon likes to at least go to hurry-up mode. Now the handoff to the running back. He's got some running room inside the 30, down to about the 29-yard line. Scheib. Not sure how that's pronounced. Scheibe. Clay Scott says Scheib.
But Scheib, we'll go.
Clay Scott says Scheib. Clay's never wrong, Dave. So
that's right.
We're going to go with Clay on that. And a nice gain for Scheib. 7 yards, second down and 3 for McCutcheon. 9 minutes, 30 seconds to play. First quarter just underway, no score. Owen Smith back to pass. He's got a man open, and the pass is just overthrown as Alden Reiser had a step on Landon Moorhawk. It would have taken a perfect pass, though, and it was just overthrown.
Yeah, that was very, very close. Had a man, defender for the Berries was right there, but no catch. And you always wonder, Joe, when that ball goes real high, is it going to come down? Is it going to be a completion?
So it sets up McCutcheon's first third down of the night. 3rd down and 3 for the Mavericks at the Logansport 30-yard line. Owen Smith with Scheib in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. Reiser split out wide to the right for the Mavericks. Now Smith will hand off to Scheib, breaks the tackle. Another one, and he is going to be brought down short of the first down. And Scotty Barron can't believe he missed him as he broke through the line of scrimmage, had a play on him. Would have had him for a loss.
Yeah, I bet Scotty was super excited. He kind of burst through the line, and he was mano-a-mano. And unfortunately, he made a pretty good hit on him. It looked like it could have been a tackle, but...
So it sets up 4th down and 2. McCutcheon from this spot of the field will go for it. So a big play here in the early stages of this contest. We'll see if the Berries defense can rise up here on 4th down and 2. Smith will keep it himself, and a quarterback keeper will have the first down and more all the way down to the 18-yard line. Credit the offensive line that time, as that was a design run all the way. And Smith hesitation. Allow his big fellas up front to get him a hole, and he gets the first down inside the 20.
Good job by the QB there to be able to pretend like he was going to pass and then do that.
Red zone, first time either team has been in the red zone tonight. First down and 10 for the Mavericks at the Logansport 19-yard line. 8.5 minutes to go for first quarter. No score between Logansport and McCutcheon. The Mavericks, at least on this drive, a very impressive offensive ball club. Smith once again from the gun. Now hands off to the receiver coming around the left side. Breaks the tackle. And he's brought down at about the 16-yard line. Shamar Ray on the carry. Scotty Barron on the stop. Deacon Kitchell as well. 3-yard pickup. 2nd down and 7.
Well, we know the field kind of shrinks for the offense as, we get closer to that goal line. So that's in favor of the Berries. But the Berries really need to stop here, or at least a hold to 3 on this opening drive by McCutcheon.
2nd down and 7 for the Mavericks. 2 receivers split out to the right. Now pitch to Scheib on the right side. There was a flag on the play that probably is going to be holding as Scheib is inside the 5, pushed out of bounds at about the 2. But that's going to be holding. And the Matt Lang penalty tracker for the first time tonight. 10-yard park off on McCutcheon. Although if you're at the soccer field on Wednesday, one of the soccer players on senior night gave a shout out to Big Willie. William Matthew Lang II, who was a longtime assistant to Coach Turner. So maybe we can call it the Big Willie penalty tracker.
He probably not loved that.
Probably not.
Yeah, but that's great.
Yep, Aldir Zarate.
Boy, and Coach Lang has a great relationship with athletes.
Yes,
he's just one of the guys, and it is fun to see them have some fun with him.
2nd down and 17 following the penalty on holding on McCutcheon from the 26-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left with Keegan Rice in the backfield with Owen Smith in the gun. Smith quarterback draw, and he's going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Nice job. Scotty Barron missed him the last time. He didn't miss him this time, Dave. Wrapped him up and brought him down. No gain.
Well, we had no doubt that Scotty wasn't going to just keep missing and missing. It's a little bit of a fluke there at the first, but what a great stop there by the Berries. Still 3rd down and 17 to go. So, a really critical stop here is if you want to assert your kind of dominance and get on a roll, you really need to stop him here.
Now, Hayden Wagner is the capable field goal kicker, but this is a long way for him. It would be over a 40-yard field goal, so McCutcheon may be in 4-down territory, so they have a chance to run 2 plays to try and get these 17 yards. 3rd and 17 for the Mavericks. Big play in the early stages of this contest. Smith back to pass. Slanton is caught by Reiser inside the 15-yard line. And they're going to say the ball hit the ground, incomplete.
Wow.
The side judge right here said incomplete all the way. He must have seen it around about the same angle. I did not see that hit the turf.
Yeah, it was hard to tell really from our angle because the ball's kind of behind the body of the receiver. But, man, that looked like a good play call.
Sure did. Well, this is a must-stop for Logansport. 4th and 17 with 6.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. McCutcheon with a good drive. Penalty has set them back a little bit, and now the Bears got to capitalize. They've made a couple of good defensive plays on this set of downs following that penalty, and they must complete the possession by coming up with a stop here on 4th down and 17 for the Mavericks. Smith back to pass, has plenty of time. Now the protection breaks down. He tries to escape.
Yes.
And he's going to be brought down. Lauren Taylor with the sack back to the 29-yard line, and what a stand by the Bears. Helped by the penalty, no question, but they did an awful lot on those other 3 plays on that set of downs.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. I mean, I about said, we need some sort of a sack or a hurry or something because this McCutcheon team's running out of the shotgun. The quarterback has time to see if people are going to be able to get to him. And if you can get close enough to him, he starts to try to move around and snake around, and that's what he did, and our guy's able to bring him down, and that is huge for the Berries. I mean, we may be in for a fun, close-scoring night. But let's see if the Berries can kind of light it up here and get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Berries, see if they can get a first down. They struggled 2 weeks ago against Cocoa in that department. No trouble last week against Tech. We'll see what they do here. And now pitch to Jackson Walker on the left side, and he is brought down for a loss. Great pursuit from the backside. Derek Pete, shot out of a cannon, brought down Jackson Walker for a loss of 3 yards on the play. It looked like Jackson's trying to wait for his blockers to set up, and Pete said, no, sir, I'm going to bring it down from the backside. Nice play by Pete. Loss of 3. 2nd and 13 for the Berries. So Isaac Russell split out wide to the right. We'll see if maybe that Herta-Kitcher connection can get going here on 2nd down and long. Like I said, a counter play to Jackson Walker. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage. He falls forward for a yard out to about the 28-yard line. Gain of 2. It will set up 3rd down and 11.
And I wonder what the kind of mentality of our quarterbacks are when we run just so many run plays that when you finally get a chance to pass and the guy is wide open, how much pressure is it to stick it right in his hands? It takes me a whole game of bowling to warm up. Right. So hopefully, once we do throw a pass, we can find that receiver.
Well, they're going to try a pass here. 3rd and 11 for sure is under heavy pressure. He's going to be brought down for a loss. He had no chance that time. Levance Vaughn with a big sack all the way back to the 18-yard line. Loss of 10 on the play, and the Berries will have to punt it away again.
We talked about line play in the pregame, and, we're going to have to figure out a way, of course, to block those defenders. I know I'm saying things that people already know, but Herr had no chance on that play to even look for his receiver.
So Bryson Herr in punt formation. I would be shocked if he even tries to think about faking here on 4th and 21 as the Bears have a long way to go. So Bryson will kick it away, and maybe he'll kick it away from Keegan Rice, the return man. As Herr puts a good foot into it, though Rice will field it on the run in Logansport territory, and he's got some running around the right side. Inside the 40-yard line, tries to get to the corner. And is that a flag on the play?
I thought maybe they threw one, even though the players obscured it. It looked like he grabbed his face mask to me.
Yep, he stiff-armed Lauren Taylor, but I'm with you, Dave. I think maybe he grabbed his face mask, and so that might go against McCutcheon. Still give him good field position, but that will push him back a little bit. Nice job by Lauren, who fought off that face mask and still brought him down.
Yep, and again, the official threw that orange piece of whatever that was right where the ball carrier caught it. So I'll have to look out for that the rest of the season. That's something I have never seen in football before.
Well, now they're saying that it's against Logansport for grabbing the face mask.
Really?
It sure looked like it was the other way around, but
and it could have been both. But even if it's both, it's.
Yep. So just a 5-yard penalty, so the Big Willie penalty tracker. 5-yard penalty against Lauren Taylor for the face mask, and sets up McCutcheon 1st down and 10 at the 26-yard line. So the Berries defense was stout last time. They're going to have to do it again here with McCutcheon with great starting field position at the Berries' 26-yard line. Two receivers to the left. Keegan Rice in the backfield with Owen Smith. And now Smith hands it off to Keegan Rice, who's got some gain inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line, 4-yard pickup. Second down and 6.
And the Berries defense very warm as they were kind of just on the field. But I think that our team gets better as they go because they got to play that Ironman football. So they're just still getting going.
Second down and 6 for McCutcheon. At the Logansport 22-yard line, 3:45 to go, first quarter. No score in this North Central Conference game between the Berries and the Mavericks. Now Smith sets up a bubble screen and it is caught. And he's got some running room, but a nice open field tackle.
Oh, came out of his hands.
By Tate Strong. They're going to say that the ground caused the fumble. Strong with a nice open field tackle. Because it looked like Christopher Kurtz was going to take it to the house. He did get enough, though, for the first down inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, defender tried to kind of run on the outside of the blocker, and runner able to kind of zigzag in there. But hoping that was a fumble. It looked like they came out pretty quick.
Yep, with the official standing right there said he was down by contact. So 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Now a pitch to Keegan Rice, and he is going to be brought down for a loss. Jackson Walker coming in from the safety on a safety blitz. Didn't make the tackle, but he slowed him up and allowed his defenders to assist. And Lauren Taylor in on the stop. Loss back to the 15, make it 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12, and the Berries backed up again in their own end zone, just like they were on McCutcheon's first drive. And they're just trying to keep them out of the end zone, keep those points off the board.
Now 2 receivers split out to either side of the formation for the Mavericks with Keegan Rice in the backfield with Owen Smith. So McCutcheon with a lot of options here in this play on 2nd down and 12 from the Logansport 15-yard line. 2:45 to go, first quarter, no score between the Berries and the Mavericks. Smith fakes the handoff to Rice. He's got his man caught inside the 5-yard line. Parker Sorrell's on the reception, and it's going to be enough for a first down for the Mavericks. 1st and goal. That was a well-designed play and well-thrown ball that time by Smith. Hit his man on target.
Yeah,
in stride.
The McCutcheon plays tonight, play calling has been great.
Yep.
Their receivers are getting wide open, and the Berries really have to come up with something here to keep those points off the board.
Yep. How about a turnover here on 1st and goal for the Mavericks? Ball spotted at the Logansport 3-yard line. Smith in the gun. He'll hand off to Keegan Rice. Makes the first man miss. He's going to be just short of the goal line.
Wow.
Down to about the, how the official's going to say his knee, touchdown at the 1. But still a gain of 2. 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line for McCutcheon.
Boy, and so many options running these kind of shotgun formations. Yep. And, I wouldn't be surprised if the quarterback went for it so close to this end zone.
Yep, and they just brought in 3 offensive linemen in to replace their skill position players in now a tight formation. So, yep, it's going to be a quarterback sneak here almost assuredly. Owen Smith, the ball is loose. Does Logansport come up with it? And they do.
No way, Joe.
What a job by the nose tackle for the Berries. Blowing up the play and the biggest play of the game. A fumble inside the 5-yard line, and the Berries are in business.
I mean, as great of a play as that is, Joe, we've been backed up so many times this season, right on the goal line, no room to operate. So the Berries got to be very close. We talked about keeping points off the board, keep that safety off the board, figure out a way to get this out of the end zone with McCutcheon playing pretty good defense tonight.
It looks like a couple former Berry athletes down on the track. Looks like Rylan Campbell from the baseball team from last year is down there. So we'll see if they give the ball to Devalia here deep in their own territory. And it's going to be a counter play and minimal gain that time for the Berries. Actually a loss back to the 2-yard line. As Coach Johnson was trying to cross up the Mavericks, thinking everyone thought Devalia would get it. They went with the counter play, and they lose 2 yards back to the 2.
I tell you what, so hard to kind of call plays back here. Nerve-wracking for all the players. And Logansport has had that hard time. So my hope is that this is the drive that kind of gets them that extra cushion that they need, because they've been in this position quite a few times. Maybe that will pay off. 2nd down and 12 for the Berries. Inside of a minute to play here in the first quarter. Now Devalia gets it up the middle. He breaks the tackle and is into the open field. Across the 25, across the 30, 35, 40. All the way out to midfield, Chris Devalia. And the ball did come loose, but his knee had touched down in McCutcheon territory at the 49-yard line. What a run. 49 yards by Devalia. We do have a flag on the play, though, so. Uh-oh.
It's going to be illegal use of hands on the Berries. So at least they'll get them out of the shadows of their own goal line. The flag is thrown to the 22, so that'll move the Berries back a little bit.
But yeah,
that's got to give them some confidence.
Oh, certainly. And, even though a play's called back like that, Devalier with his energy, you saw that big, 85 Bears jump kind of body bump that he did with his teammate. I mean, that got him fired up even with the penalty there. They've got a little room to relax, and now Johnson and the guys can figure out what they're going to do to kind of start this drive off right and go down there. But, man, they moved it all the way back to, is that about the 14?
But that will be enough for a first down because they had the possession start at the 4. So even with the big penalty, it is first down and a new set of downs for the Berries. 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Yeah, I feel that the beginning of this drive was just kind of emergency mode. Now they can finally kind of try to get into their offense.
Exactly.
Get some rhythm, maybe some play action. Maybe we see a strike or maybe we see another big run.
I know they like that tight end screen where they roll out to the one side and have the tight end at the other end of the formation. See if that might slow down the pass rush. Instead, they'll give it to Devalier up the middle. Out to the 17 for Devalier, gain of 3, and what might be the final play of our first quarter. Now Coach Johnson is waving over his offense over to the sidelines as they will not have to run another play. And as with McCutcheon's field position and the way they move the ball, Dave, the Bears got to be thrilled to get out of this quarter tied at 0.
Oh, my gosh. McCutcheon all the way down. All he needed is a few yards to get in the end zone. The Berries able to stop him with that huge play to cause that fumble. And the Berries in very good shape after, you didn't want to go down a touchdown early on in this game. And Logansport can now kind of get into that second quarter.
On the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cast REMC. We're through one quarter of play. No score between McCutcheon and Logansport. We'll step aside for break. There's more to come. Live from Logansport.
Folks on YouTube, it's good to have you with us for this unaired talk with us. As I'm sure you're already here if you have a little girl that's in the cheerleading squad, but the little girls are out there doing their cheer thing. And, of course, we're hoping that the Berries have a good second quarter.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Welcome back to LMH Stadium. Second quarter about to begin. Logansport has it 2nd down and 6 at their own 18-yard line. Devalier gets the handoff up the middle, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And he's going to be pushed back for a yard loss back to the 17-yard line. It will be 3rd down and long for the Berries. 3rd and 7. Logansport needs to get to the 24 to keep this drive alive. And our old colleague Steve Isaacs texted me and asked if it's my tribute to Lucille Ball. No, Mr. Isaacs, it is not. Battling a little bit of a bug. I've had no voice all day. I tried some home remedy cures, and this is the best I could do on short notice.
Yeah.
If you know any home remedy cures, send them to me.
I don't know, but this sounds like a Reggie Miller interview postgame.
Oh, my. Now, her rolls out. He's got a man open. Overthrows Isaac Russell. He had a step on the defensive back, Keon Scheib. That was a very tight window to try and fit that in. And the pass falls to the turf incomplete. And the Bears will have to kick it away.
I mean, a sideline throw is pretty tricky to throw on your first maybe real throw. I guess has her thrown a ball tonight?
No, he tried once and was sacked. So I think that's their first.
And there's a pretty good breeze in here. I wonder if there's any effect on the ball.
So the Bears will punt it away. Keegan Rice standing at the midfield stripe for McCutcheon. Now her with that rugby-style kick to the right will kick it away from Rice. Has a nice high kick and will force Rice to catch the fair catch. He bobbles it, and the ball is going to be almost recovered by Morak, but it goes out of bounds. But a good job by Morak to force the fair catch, put pressure on Rice, who bobbled it. But McCutcheon will take over, but inside the 40-yard line. A heck of a kick that time from Bryson Herr.
Yeah, after that bobble, McCutcheon player just wanted to get that ball out of bounds. He was so close. He just kind of flailed at it trying to get it out. But, yeah, it would have been nice if the Berries could have just went and got that punt back.
A 44-yard net punt, though, that time from Bryson Herr. Nicely done by the sophomore. And the Mavericks have it 1st and 10 at the McCutcheon 39-yard line. 11:07 to go first half. No score in this North Central Conference game. Maybe the last meeting, at least for a while, you would think, between McCutcheon and Logansport on the football field. Now Smith sets up a bubble screen. Got a man open on the right side across the 45-yard line. Gets to the edge into Logansport territory. Breaks the tackle. Inside the 40. Inside the 30. And he's finally knocked out of bounds. Scotty Barron hustling from his defensive line position. Knocking Shamar Ray out of bounds. But not until Ray gets all the way to the 20-yard line.
And our defense unable to kind of figure out what McCutcheon's doing on a lot of these plays. McCutcheon is wide open. And, you know, if not for some really solid tackling by the Berries defense, they've had a chance to go to the house a few times. So the Berries have got to definitely get up on these guys.
So McCutcheon in the red zone again. They've not scored, though. Numerous opportunities inside the 20. Handoff to Keegan Rice. Flag on the play. So the Big Willie penalty tracker, I think, is going to be chalking up a penalty against McCutcheon. That's thrown in the area of offensive holding. And we'll check and see. The play stands a good gain for Keegan Rice, but it is holding on McCutcheon. Their second holding penalty of the night for 20 yards. And it'll be first down and long. So McCutcheon has really hurt themselves with some penalties when they're knocking on the door.
Absolutely, Joe.
And a penalty. So they've shot themselves in the foot 3 times while in the red zone here tonight.
Reminds me of that Eagles game where the Vikings kept fumbling.
1st and 20 for McCutcheon. They have it at the Logansport 29-yard line. 10:45 to go first half. No score between McCutcheon and Logansport, a game that McCutcheon has dominated on the stat sheet but has not been able to convert that into points. Now Smith with a stop and go. The pass, Isaac Russell in pretty good coverage, and he comes up with the interception in the end zone. Isaac Russell. And the Berries turn McCutcheon in the red zone away again. Oh, my.
Oh, my gosh. And, yeah, very lucky that he caught it in the end zone. You know, obviously he wouldn't want to catch it on the one, but what a beautiful catch. And, you know, when that quarterback dropped back and threw it real high, I saw Isaac Russell light up like a wide receiver, and very fortunate to get that.
Mr. Starkey, he saw the officials with a conversation, and he said right away, that's a touchback, and the officials must have heard Mr. Starkey because they concurred. Logansport will take over at their own 20.
Yeah, just, you know, Isaac just has a nose for the ball.
Yes, he does.
You know, when you throw it up to him as a wide receiver, he's one of those guys that can go up and get it if you just throw it and give him a chance. And he just showed it there as he became the wide receiver, able to intercept that. And, you know, just slightly off, that could be a touchdown for McCutcheon. So just such a great play here as the Berries continue to just hang on by a thread with McCutcheon knocking on the door.
They're living dangerously, no question about it. But still no scores. McCutcheon turned away in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight without any points. 1st and 10, Logansport at their own 20-yard line. Now the handoff to Baldini, and he's at right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play for the freshman running back, who has been very impressive early in his varsity career for the Berries.
So far, McCutcheon just playing strong, playing tough. Playing really good defense and really good offense, but the Berries, you know, are just holding on. It's been great to watch. They had such a great time on offense and defense special teams last week, and they're just trying to get something to kind of go their way.
2nd and 10 for the Berries. Baldini remains in the lineup at that fullback position for Logansport. Now bobble snap. It looks like McCutcheon has it, I believe. And they do. Falling on the football is Dawson Lee. And McCutcheon, for the 4th time tonight, is in the red zone. It's a miracle. It's no score. But the Berries just cannot continue to live this dangerously.
I tell you what, you got to think, Joe, that with McCutcheon knocking on the door, that it's going to open on this drive. Yep. I mean, that's kind of my prediction. How many times can you be just kind of right there and get stopped? But the Berries have done it before, and they're going to have to try to do it again here.
So McCutcheon, for the 4th time tonight, is in the red zone. They have been turned away their previous 3 forays into the red zone. Logansport would like to make it 4 for 4. As Keegan Rice gets the handoff, he's got a big run inside the 5-yard line, all the way down to the 3-yard line. Big gain that time for Rice. 15 yards on the carry. 1st and goal for the Mavericks.
Wow, and just a good way of kind of disguising what they're doing as, you know, the quarterback dropped back as if he was throwing, even through the fake pass. And many people, I think, were looking at the quarterback when they saw the runner break through there.
McCutcheon quickly to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal. Rice gets the handoff around the right side, breaks a tackle, cannot break another tackle, and he is going to be brought down short of the goal line. Give him about a yard and a half gain to the yard line. Tate Strong. Caden Walker also on the stop. Deacon Kitchell, a lot of berries on the stop there. 2nd and goal from about the yard line. Now Keon Scheib into the backfield, now replacing Rice with 2 receivers out to the right. Parker Sorrell split out wide to the left. A lot of options once again for the Mavericks. See if the Berries can come up with another stop here in the red zone. 2nd and goal for McCutcheon. At about the 2-yard line. 8:55 to go first half. No score between Logansport and McCutcheon. Handoff to Scheib, and he's going to be in the end zone for a touchdown. It was just a matter of time, Dave. You can't keep giving the team short fields.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Well earned by McCutcheon there. Saw a few fans on their feet anticipating that, but the Berries still have dodged a couple of those bullets early in this game. It's only a 1-score game, and the Berries just haven't had any momentum on offense. They just need to string together a couple plays that are big plays with no penalties to get them rolling tonight.
So Hayden Wagner, junior place kicker.
Let's hope for a miss.
Point. Yep. Snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is up, and it is good on the scoreboard. Sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cass REMC. 8:43 to go, first half. McCutcheon 7, Logansport nothing. But it could be a whole lot worse, Dave, with a couple of penalties in the red zone and a fumble inside the 5. They could have 3 or 4 touchdowns on the board by now.
Yeah, I mean, the Berries know that they haven't played their best football tonight, and that the next chance to do it is right now. And so, what we need to do is have a decent return, no turnovers, be very careful with the ball, and maybe, run some of our best plays, maybe one of those plays that Johnson's holding for a special time. And I'd love to see the ball to get thrown to either DeValier or Isaac Russell, maybe Kitchell, one of those guys.
Like you said earlier, maybe a good return to get the Berries started. They've not had great field position, as McCutcheon has owned the field position tonight. But again, could be a whole lot worse. 7-0 with 8:43 to go here in the first half.
Well, there's the thing where, as you play the game, you start to notice your opponent's tendencies. You start to kind of, get a little bit of field scouting as opposed to what the coaches do during the week on film. And so, as this game wears on and the Berries probably playing more guys on both sides than McCutcheon is, maybe our guys just get a little bit stronger and get the momentum as they go and get back in this game.
So Wagner to kick off with the Chris Anthony DeValier standing back also to receive this kick.
See if they squib it.
Along with Isaac Russell and Jackson Walker. Jackson with that kickoff return for a touchdown against Kokomo.
That was awesome.
Yes, it was. And a squib kick by Wagner. Tate Strong falls on the ball. Tate had designs on trying to run with it, but bobbled it just a little bit and then did the wise thing, just jumped on it. And the Berries not bad starting field position at their own 30.
Yeah, Berries daring them to kick to one of our Triforces of Power back there. Our 3 guys all lined up, each one of them able to take it to the house if they get a good block. And so here the Berries are starting off on their 29 and 3/4 yard line. Yep. Let's see if they can finish this half here with a drive and tie it up.
1st and 10 for the Berries. Isaac Russell split out wide to the left. DeValier back in at fullback. Now the counterplay to Caden Walker. Makes the first man miss. Cannot make the second man. Keegan Rice in on the stop. Also Broderick Arnold following a gain of 2 out to the 32. 2nd down and 8 for the Berries.
Solid run there by Caden Walker. He made a nice little juke on the right side. And a good tackle there by McCutcheon to get him.
And Coach Turner's son Hodge, I thought he might have broken his ankle, but he said nope, just damaged a couple of ligaments. So he's got a splint on, but he's walking, and so he might be available sooner rather than later. I don't think he'll be available tomorrow for that game against Marion, but who knows? Now the handoff to DeValier. Good hard run for Chris out across the 35 to the 36. 4-yard pickup for DeValier. Sets up 3rd and 4 for the Berries.
Yeah, 3rd and medium to maybe short here. And so the kind of the entire playbook open, really. Yep. You surprise them with a pass, they certainly wouldn't be expecting. I think they would probably be expecting a run even to get 4 yards. But that's why we don't get paid to be coaches, Joe, is because, it's just whatever.
Well, I'm going to dial up a screen pass here to Deegan.
All right. Okay.
They've not been able to slow that pass rush down, so how about a screen pass? Entice that defensive line to come at him. Like I said, they're going to run a counter play to Jackson, to Caden Walker, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. 4th down and 4 for the Berries. And again, Coach Johnson thought about it for a second, but he will send the punt unit on.
Boy, and the tough on offense for the Berries today. They had a heck of a run there by Chris Anthony DeValier. They got called back quite a bit for holding, but other than that, our best reception I think was probably on defense. Isaac Russell catching that in the end zone, but McCutcheon has a real chance to put some real pressure on the Berries with this drive. 4th
down and 4. Bryson Herr in punt formation. High snap. Now he's going to take off to his left. He's got some running room, and he's going to be brought down. What a play by Derek Pete. Looked like he was going to be able to get to the edge. And now Bryson is slow to get up. Looks like he was favoring that right ankle. And that was a good open field tackle by Pete. Boy, will take over on downs, and this could be huge with her on the ground in obvious pain.
That's a tough call to make to try to go for it, and McCutcheon knew that our tendency sometimes is to try to do that. And what a great athletic play there by the McCutcheon defender. But right now, all eyes on Bryson Herr as he gets seen to by the medical people.
Yep, and it's over close to the McCutcheon sideline. So Sidney Latham, the Berries trainers out there. McCutcheon's trainers also coming out to take a look. Athletic director. There's that Coach Johnson. I think that's Coach Johnson out there along with athletic director Brian Strong. But all focus is on Bryson Herr. You hope maybe it's just a twist, but his grandpa Pat, I've got to know well over the years at LHS, says that he's a tough kid, and he gets knocked down and he always gets up, and there he's going to try to.
He's very slow to get up.
Yep. So that ankle looks like what is the situation.
You wonder if they take the golf cart out.
Well, that's right there, and Rylan Campbell, the old Berry ball player, is going to have to get out of the way if they want that cart, because he's right in the way. But Bryson, and this doesn't look good, Dave. He's not able to put any weight at all on that right ankle. So we've seen Quincy Jackson, the freshman who's got a lot of potential.
He does have a lot of potential, and he's going to get a chance to maybe show us tonight.
Yeah, because Bryson's not able to put any weight at all on that ankle. Sydney's going to do her level best to get him back in there, wrap it up. But he's in obvious pain. And McCutcheon will take over on downs, 1st and 10 at the Logansport 36-yard line. And this is you can just you can feel it in the crowd, Dave. They're just the air sucked out of them. Not only did they lose the possession, but their outstanding quarterback injured. And who knows what his status will be for the rest of the game.
And this is where community really comes into play, Joe, as everybody just sees their own kid in Bryson.
1st and 10 for McCutcheon. Owen Smith in the gun. Hands off to Keegan Rice. Breaks the tackle down to the 30-yard line. Walker and DeValier on the stop. But a gain of 6 for Keegan Rice. 2nd down and 4.
And McCutcheon with another short field. I mean, to go up 2 scores before halftime is going to be really big for them. So the Berries defense has got to make a stop for Bryson here and get the ball back.
Sidney has taken off his shoe and sock, so that could potentially be good news. Maybe trying to get that thing wrapped and maybe try and get him back out there. Now, screen pass is set up on the left side inside the 30, and he's got some room, and he may take it inside the 10 to the 5. And a touchdown. Nicely done that time by Broderick Arnold. Good block on the edge, and Arnold did all the rest, and just like that, it's 13-0 McCutcheon.
Yeah, everything really working for McCutcheon besides a few bad turnovers that turned into Berry opportunities. But boy, being down, we'll see what this extra point does, but being down a couple scores at halftime is really hard against a team that is usually solid like McCutcheon is.
And we see Quincy Jackson getting warmed up on the sidelines for the Berries as we continue to work on the ankle of her. The kick is up, and the kick is good on the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cast REMC. 5:58 to go, first half. McCutcheon on top, 14-0. Sidney's putting a couple of layers of tape on Bryson, so in the short term, Dave, with that ankle, if you can get it tight right away, keep that swelling down, you can tough it out. Tomorrow and the next day are going to be a different story, but he's a tough kid, and if he can get back out there, he's going to try. But he's in obvious pain. You can see he's grimacing in pain, as Sydney's doing her best to get that ankle stabilized and wrapped tightly to keep the swelling down.
Yeah, and I mean, luckily he's kind of focused on what's going on and kind of what he wants to do. You got a big old crowd, just kind of right in front of you as you're kind of getting worked on, but he wants to get out there. Now, Quincy Jackson, it would be an interesting thing to see what that young man has. Right. He's a freshman, 5'4" freshman. I got to think that he might have the ability to run and pass. Mm-hmm. But I know the coaches have had really good things to say about him this year, and thought that he may be able to battle for the quarterback job in the future, and the future could be now. But like you said, Sydney's been wrapping the leg over there, and so most likely Bryson's going to try to get back in this game.
So Wagner to kick off with Devalier, Russell, and Jackson Walker back to receive this kick. Now
It's a high one.
Pooch kick. Jackson Walker comes, fields it on the run, bobbles it. Ball is up for grabs, and I believe McCutcheon's going to come up with it, and they do at the 31-yard line. And that things have gone from bad to worse here for the Berries in this second quarter.
Yeah, that was you're kind of surprised that that we're even kind of running up and catching it, but man, that was right in front of the McCutcheon defense or coverage there, and now McCutcheon back going, but yeah, just a disaster.
Another short field for the Mavericks. 1st and 10 at the Logansport 31-yard line. McCutcheon early on top, 14-0. After the Berries stopped them 3 times in the red zone in the first quarter. McCutcheon has made them pay here in the second quarter. A couple of costly turnovers for the Berries have really put them behind the 8 ball. So see if the defense can do it again. 1st down and 10. Keegan Wright gets the handoff, and we got a flag on the play. The Big Willie penalty tracker. I believe it's going to be a false start against McCutcheon. Their 3rd penalty for 25 yards. As Principal Matt Jones is now at the training table trying to give Bryson Hurst some words of encouragement. A great crowd on hand, as you mentioned, Dave, and our old friend Mike Wade is in the attendance. Can't wait to see him on the basketball court, the official scorer on road games for the Berries. Always good to see Mike Wade.
Absolutely.
And our former Iron Horse colleague, Corey Howard, as well in the stands. So it's a veritable who's who at LMH Stadium here tonight.
Yeah, we'll have to do some celebrity sightings later.
Back to pass now is Owen Smith. The pass is caught, breaking the tackle. Inside the 30-yard line, brought down to the 26-yard line is Shamar Ray. He'll be short of the 1st down. Jackson Walker on the stop. It'll be 2nd down and about 7.
The Bears are going to need to try to shore up that tackling a little bit as McCutcheon's able to get some Berries bouncing off of him here early in the game. But like I said, Joe, we're second-half team anyways, so we're all right.
2nd and 7 for McCutcheon at the Logansport 29-yard line. 5.5 minutes to go, first half. McCutcheon 14, Logansport nothing. And the Mavericks knocking on the door to try to add to this 2-score lead. 2 receivers out to the left. Keegan Rice in the backfield with Owen Smith. Smith now will set up a bubble screen to Ray. Makes the first man miss. Now cuts it to the outside inside the 25. Down at the 23-yard line. Jackson Walker with a good open field tackle. Sets up 3rd and about 2 for the Mavericks.
Boy, the Berries, I mean, this would be a critical stop here at the end of the first half. The Berries need to not go down 3 scores as Bryson kind of is trying to walk it off a little bit or see how he feels maybe on his feet.
Speaking of celebrity sightings, Tristan Kitchell and the Giddings brothers are down on the track. So all sorts of celebrities here tonight.
Oh, my.
For Logansport.
Yeah, they're just not dressed, but they're ready to play, I bet.
3rd down and 3 for McCutcheon. Smith once again in the shotgun. Will hand off to Keegan Rice. Breaks 1 tackle. He's going to be very close to the 1st down, and he will fall forward for the 1st down the 20-yard line. Good inspired run that time from Keegan Rice.
As a helicopter fairly low in the air just went over the stadium to wow some of the kids in the crowd and all looking up.
Well, maybe they heard how bad my voice is and think maybe I need to medevac to the nearest medical clinic. So hopefully that's not the case, but I'm sure you could do a fine job in my absence.
I'd have to do my best impression of you, Joe, which nobody wants to hear.
1st down and 10. McCutcheon has it at the Logansport 20-yard line. Inside of 4 minutes to go, first half. The Mavericks on top, 14-0. Now the handoff to Scheib. He falls forward to the 15-yard line for a gain of 5. Second down and 5.
And boy, Joe, as a fan, I'm just a little bit scared by the potential of what could happen here. The Berries, what a crucial thing it would be for them to get a turnover to stop McCutcheon from scoring anymore, stop the bleeding here.
Now some substitutions for the Berries. Ryan Mullins in at nose tackle. See if he can come up with a big play for the Berries here. Second down and 5 at the 15. Now Owen Smith looks over to the sideline. It looks like they're going to try to run and call an audible. Still 10 seconds to go on the play clock. So plenty of time for McCutcheon to get this ball snapped on this second down and 5 at the Logansport 15-yard line. Smith hands off to Scheib, breaks the tackle, breaks another tackle, breaks a third tackle, still on his feet inside the 10-yard line, and spins his way down to the 6 for a first and goal. An inspired run that time from senior running back Keon Scheib. Gain of 9, first and goal for McCutcheon.
Boy, and that's a student that wants to pound the defense and just knocking over guys one by one.
The Berries defense rose up in the first quarter. They've not been able to do so in the second quarter. We'll see if they can do so here in this first and goal. McCutcheon has it at the Logansport 6-yard line with 2:40 to go in our first half. 14-0. McCutcheon on top of Logansport. Now the handoff. Smith fakes the handoff to Rice, keeps it himself. Inside the 5, down to about the 1-yard line. Now a late flag. It looked like there was one of the Berries was sent to the turf after the whistle. Ryan Mullins was knocked down. That might be a personal foul on McCutcheon. We'll have to wait and see. Or it could be offsetting. But the official was looking right where Ryan Mullins was knocked down and threw the flag. So,
Joe, I hope you're right. I hope you're right because we really need the penalty to be on them.
Logansport definitely needs something good to happen here in the second quarter. Dead ball foul, unsportsmanlike conduct on McCutcheon. So that is the case. So a big 15-yard mark off. And McCutcheon again, their own worst enemy in the red zone, with another costly penalty. We saw 2 in the first half, or in the first quarter. Now we see one here on this drive.
And as the ball moves back to about the 21 and a half. So
second and goal.
Yeah, McCutcheon has got the and goal activated, so they need to get to the end zone here in the next 3 downs.
4th penalty for 40 yards, according to the Big Willie penalty tracker.
People are going to think you're talking about Bill Clinton.
No, ask Aldir Zarate on senior night. He dedicated, he gave a shout out to Big Willie for all the help he did coaching that Logansport soccer team. Now Scranton
nice.
Broke up, nicely done by Isaac Russell. He timed it perfectly and broke up the pass as Matthew Chandler Jr. was there. And the pass was knocked down incomplete. So here's a big third down for the Berries. 3rd and goal at the 21-yard line. 2:03 to go first half. McCutcheon on top, 14-0. Owen Smith takes a look to the sidelines. Still 17 seconds on the play clock, so plenty of time for McCutcheon to signal in the play that they want their senior quarterback to run here.
They definitely don't want to give the Berries that much time to get on the board and get some momentum.
Smith back to pass. We got a flag on the play, and it's going to be John Moss is talking to the official, saying that's against them, and the official said, "I'm sorry, John, it's offside. It's offside on the defense." 3rd penalty for McCutcheon for 20 yards, according to the Big Willie penalty tracker. So that will move the Mavericks 5 yards closer down to the 16-yard line. Still 3rd down, 3rd and goal, but not nearly as long for the Mavericks. Clock running, 1:55 to go, and just as I say clock running, the official stops the clock. That's right, because there was a penalty after the incomplete pass. So clock will not start until the ball is snapped, which it does. Smith back to pass. He's got a man open. The pass is overthrown. Shamar Ray was open on a double move that time. But Smith threw it over his head, and that's going to bring out the field goal unit. Hayden Wagner has 2 made field goals so far this season, a very strong leg. And this will be about a 30-yard field goal, 29 yards, give or take, from the left hash. So considering the turnover in the short field, the Berries would take this as a victory if they only hold them to 3. after the onslaught here in this second quarter. 29-yard field goal attempt for Hayden Wagner. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide to the left, that hash was too extreme. And so the Berries, another red zone stop, Dave. Fourth time tonight, so it's 14-0. Doing my Michigan Public School education math, it could be 42-0 without some great play by the Berries defense in this first half.
Yeah, this has been a tough first half for the Berries, but they'll be looking to bounce back in this second half.
And we invite you to stick around for the Logansport Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine halftime show. We have done it again, Dave Packard. I think we've come up with another great halftime guest awaiting the fans.
Yes, somebody that they may have been familiar with if they've dealt with the school.
Bryson Herr is back out there, and the pass is up in the air, and it is going to be underthrown. Isaac Russell dove for it. Could not come up with it. Pass falls to the turf, incomplete, but Bryson is really favoring that right ankle. But that's the thing with a sprained ankle, Dave. If you get it taped up, you can at least give it a go. As tough as Bryson is, he's trying.
Yeah, it looked like he thought about coming off the field, but then went back into the huddle. And
a lot of times I know they have him run to the sideline to get the play call, but that's a little bit too much from that ankle. So Isaac Russell is going to be the messenger. So he's young, he's healthy, he can handle it. Now the counter play to Jackson Walker, and he is hemmed in and brought down for a loss. Nice play that time by Brock Finney. First time we've called his name tonight. And McCutcheon will take advantage and take a timeout, their first charge timeout with 1:35 to go. And third down and long for the Berries. McCutcheon has their designs on adding to this 2-touchdown lead. Frat night here at LMH Stadium.
Yep.
With the student body dressed up fraternity style.
Yep, fraternity style being, maybe some khakis, a backwards hat, maybe some shades, some flannel, some cool T-shirts.
Yep.
But they do a great job, the student council, whoever comes up with those different days that they do at all the games that they attend. It's always really, really nice. And we welcome the people that are listening to us not only on WSAL, 1230 a.m., or have you tried 94.9 FM? We sound pretty good on the FM dial, too, right above Q95. But also on YouTube. I've been told that we're a little bit ahead of the YouTube stream. And I think when I looked at it, it did seem like there might have been the YouTube stream was showing 15 seconds more on the clock the last time I checked. So hopefully we don't spoil any of the big plays.
Well, speaking of celebrities, there's one of my students, Matthias Reagan, in the house. And small world, you know his father very well.
That's right. Eric Regan went to school together, and he's just a heck of a guy, one of my best friends in high school.
Now they set up the screen pass to Chris Tavalli. He's got the first down and more across the 40 out to the 44-yard line before he's finally brought down by Derek Pete. Oftentimes, Dave, the best remedy against a pass rush is a screen pass.
I thought you were going to say
one of your best athletes, and Tavalli out to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say talk about Eric Regan on the air, and there'd be a big play down the sideline. But, boy, Joe, I mean, there's not much time left, 80 seconds, but if the Berries can figure out a way to get some points on the board, it will go a long way for morale.
Yeah, no question about it. So, big play for the Berries. First down and 10 at their own 45-yard line as we approach 1 minute to play. First half, another counter play to Walker, and that play has not worked tonight for the Berries as McCutcheon has exploited that, and Walker took quite a lick, and he is down on the ground, and he's not getting up, so they're going to stop the clock. Hopefully he just got his bell rung as he's going to be able to get off the field under his own power, but he took one serious lick from 3 or 4 different McCutcheon linemen.
Well, I tell you what, those Walker brothers are just pretty incredible in their energy and their effort.
Yep.
They're always going 1,000%. And, in football, that can often lead to some hits.
My daughter played Little League softball against their older sisters, and they got it from the older sisters, so those two kids were pretty darn good softball players in their own right. Walker, though, is able to get off the field under his own power, and now the clock will restart after the carry on by Walker. Loss of 3 on the play, 2nd down and 13 for Logansport. Now the handoff to DeValier across the 45, brought down at about the 47-yard line. McCutcheon does have a couple timeouts left. Doesn't look like they're in a hurry to stop the clock. They'll be content with the 14-0 lead. We'll see what the Berries do. Have all 3 of their timeouts left. I'm sure if they can get the first down, they might consider taking one of their timeouts. The time is running out, down to 20 seconds to go. Handoff to DeValier. He's got the first down, breaks the tackle inside the 40, and wisely gets out of bounds to stop the clock at the 37-yard line with 13 and a half seconds to go. So the Berries have a chance.
Yeah, they have a chance for, one more play for the end zone maybe, or they get in position for a field goal.
Yep. Dillinham's got a strong leg. You'd think they got to get to about the 20 for them to have even a realistic shot at a field goal.
The kicking team did get on a good roll last week, and that could lead into this week. But maybe they just take a couple shots at an end zone play here.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They'll set up another screen to DeValier. He's got a wall of blockers in front of him, inside the 20, inside the 15, still on his feet, all the way down to the 9-yard line. 3.9 seconds to go. The Berries will take a timeout. They're going to send out the field goal unit. I think the field goal unit was getting ready to get out there, but the Berries will take a timeout. And they're at the 10-yard line, so this will be about a 27-yard field goal. Dillon definitely has a strong enough leg. The only bad part, Dave, is that it's on the right hash. We saw McCutcheon miss the field goal on the left hash, so that's a tough angle for Dillingham, but he's got more than enough strength in that leg to get it through from this distance.
I think the stream's about to ready to see that run, Joe. That was so great, but
I think it's going to be a screen pass to DeValier, Dave. Hey, look at that.
You called it. You called it. He's got a lot of blockers in front of him. How did you call that, Joe? But maybe we can get that stream back on track. That's not really us, folks. Of course, if you're just listening to the radio, you're like,
So the Berries 1st down and 10.
Yeah, this is big.
McCutcheon 10-yard line. Field goal unit is gathered, talking with Coach Johnson on the field of play. We saw some problems with some snaps and some holds early in their season. Like you said last week, they got that corrected against Tech at Wayne Gretzky Field at Broad Ripple High School.
I got to say, Joe, that I would love to see him go for it. It does make sense to take the points, but
so Isaac Russell will hold the ball. He spotted at the 16th, so this is a 26-yard field goal for Dillingham, the goalkeeper on the Logansport soccer team, and the place kicker for the Berries. And now we're going to get a timeout. McCutcheon will take a timeout and make the Berries think about it a little bit.
The old freeze the kicker.
Yep. Now, there's 2 schools of thought to that, Dave. Sometimes does it freeze the kicker, or does it allow a kicker just to take a deep breath and really focus on the task at hand, and does it actually help the kicker? It all depends on the results. If he makes it, it's a bad timeout. If he misses, it was a brilliant call by McCutcheon.
That is true, Joe. It does kind of go both ways there. And, every person's different. Everybody's got a different personality. Things fire up people differently. So it's just really a kind of a crapshoot whether or not it's going to work. But, it's a popular thing. I think if I was a coach, I might do it. Right. Just because I know how much of a heart attack I'm having. You hope that the kicker's having a similar thing, but that's what they do. I mean, they're kicking, and you just never know. But hopefully the Berries can get on the board here.
Well, the celebrity sightings continue. We've got Coach Gleitz from the baseball team. We've got Mrs. Harris from the guidance office. A whole lot of celebs here at LMH Stadium tonight.
Well, it's little cheerleader night. That always brings out a good crowd, families.
So here's the field goal attempt now.
Come on, baby.
For Dillingham. Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is good. From 26 yards. And that will do it for the first half on the scoreboard. Sponsored by Broadway Broadband. Powered by Miami Cast REMC. It is McCutcheon 14, Logansport 3. We'll step aside for break. When we return, we'll have our Logansport Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine halftime show live from Logansport.
I'm going to give you my helmet.
That was not a pretty hat.
So you can be really... No.
Brand new headsets.
Huh?
Brand new headsets. The boss came through for us.
Yeah.
Keep telling Johnson, I need my own headset because I got some advice to give you during these games.
Oh, yeah, direct radio to the coach. That'd be cool.
He's afraid.
I think we might be on YouTube during commercial breaks.
Oh. So I need to be quiet?
No, you can still talk.
I thought that was the end of the half, guys.
It was, but
the score is McCutcheon 14, Logansport 3. We ask it all. Pioneer Logansport Youth.
all right, Alan James, thank you very much. Well, they threw us a curveball, Dave.
They did.
They put 9/10 of a second back on the clock, so it's not quite halftime. Although our halftime guest said that she wanted extra time during halftime, so maybe that's why they did it. They helped out our guest.
That's right. That's right.
But Dillingham with a 26-yard field goal. It's 14-3. And now Brandon Diaz, who handles the kickoffs for the Berries, will do his thing. And 14-3 on the scoreboard, Dave, but McCutcheon has been in the red zone 4 other times, and they did not score in that first half. So we could be looking at a running clock if not for some great play by this Logansport defense tonight.
Yeah, that was really critical, I think, Joe, for the Berries to get on the board before halftime. I mean, barring a run back here, we'll go into halftime with 2 scores to actually be in the lead.
Now Diaz will try the onside kick. It is recovered by McCutcheon. And now the halftime
Good
show
call.
will commence. So we've already done our break, though, coming out of the break. So we'll start with the Logansport Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine halftime show. I'll let you hand the headsets. Brand new headsets, I might mention.
Yes, yes. I want to make sure our guests are comfortable up here. But we have a very special guest in the booth tonight. The awesome superintendent of schools here at Logansport Community School Corporation, Mrs. Michelle Starkey.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here. I'm hoping the second half is much better than the first half. So if we win the second half, we'll be in better shape.
That's right. That's all we got to do.
That's all we got to do.
It's only a couple scores. And of course, you come to every football game. You got kind of the spot that you inhabit right in front of us. But you were unable to make the trip right last week.
Yep.
Listening to us.
I listened to the entire game, and I was going to just say to you guys, like, one, I appreciate the job that you guys do. And I also want to give you a huge shout out because as the mom of 2 former linemen, you guys were very complimentary of the line last week. And, I feel like the only time anybody ever says anything about the line in the stands is when they're yelling at him when somebody gets tackled for a loss or whatever. So oftentimes you'll hear me be the one when somebody gets a good run cheering for the line because they blocked so the kid could get through the hole, right?
That's a great thing for a parent to know, and because they're the unsung heroes of the football game, and so you really appreciate every position.
I certainly do. I just love coming out and watching our kids compete and play hard. The football team, their record doesn't show it, but holy cow, they play hard every single game, and they just don't give up, and they just keep going. And I say a lot of times, believe it or not, people look at me kind of crazy, but when I say oftentimes teaching reading and math is secondary to a lot of the things our kids learn, right?
Yeah.
And so extracurricular activities, whether you're this marching band out here or doing esports or playing singing in the choir and band, all those kinds of things, our kids are learning real life experiences that I think are so important when they leave us and go out into this world.
Well, I think that you've cultivated just a great community within our school corporation. Is like you said, there's just so many things for people to do. I mean, even I have trouble sometimes getting people into my Barry broadcast because they've got choir, they've got McHale Tech, they've got band. There's all these options. We talked about esports, tennis, wrestling, basketball, robotics. I mean, can you talk about some of the programs that we have out there that kids can get involved in? Because there's just so many.
It's amazing, and I think it's important. I say to kids all the time, like, if you go to Logansport High School and you can't find something to be involved in, you are not looking at all, because we have something for everybody, right? And with what we've done, 7 years ago now maybe, when we went to the junior high model, and then now with the 5th and 6th grade at the new intermediate school, we're bringing all of that down. So those opportunities are becoming more and more for our younger kids, because we know that the more kids are involved in school, the better they're going to do. And for our kids, a lot of times that's also like an extended part of their family. It's just another support network for our kids, and I think that is great, and it's so important, because you talk to kids later on, and they talk about the impact a teacher had on them, or a bus driver, or we've had custodians named, as pillars of the community. You just never know when you're going to be that person that gives that kid what they need to be successful, and so oftentimes it's just years down the road. I to this day, my mom was a custodian for the school corporation for like 30 years. And to this day, I can be out with her in some place, and somebody will come up to her and say, "Aren't you Mrs. Roller? You were my either lunch lady or the custodian at my school, either Tipton or Landis." And it's just like, look, they remember her. Like, she was always so nice to me. Just those kinds of things, right? And so there are so many things we can do, and that's why I tell everybody, you always have to be aware of what you're doing and how you're acting, right? And it's also why when I'm at athletic events, I apologize to everybody around me because I'm a little passionate, if you will, sometimes.
Well, that takes me back to my school days. Daniel Webster, there was this custodian named Ray, and he had kind of keys on like a pole chain, and he let the kids come up and pull on his keys, and everybody thought he was just the best. And, those are the kind of memories that we have here in the corporation for all of us that have grown up and have come back to the corporation. Before I let Joe hop in here with a question, I'm wondering, we have a really interesting school system. We have, we just opened up the intermediate school, and that's all of our 5th and 6th grade kids. It's finally kind of full throttle out there, and we've renamed Lincoln the junior high, and we've moved the adult learning center and everything. Just, can you talk about the landscape and kind of the benefits of what we're doing? Because, I don't think a lot of places have this kind of building level thing, but is it about kind of carrying momentum to each building? Or?
It sure is. And, it's something we set out in our strategic plan, 8 years ago, when we started looking towards what do we need to do for the future of Logansport, and how do we best meet the needs of our students, And at that point in time, we had the conversation about, do 6th graders really fit in with 7th and 8th graders? And how can we offer more for our 7th and 8th graders? And so we started down that whole path, and so here we are today with, at the junior high level, we offer 12 high school credits, and people are like, so what? Well, right, so what? That's 12 high school credits kids come to high school with. Then they can take other classes, either at the Career Center or dual credit classes, to look at what is my path after high school. And then as we look to provide more opportunities for our kids at the intermediate school, just to get them more involved. We're going to start 5th grade band, right? That's huge. So we'll have 5th and 6th grade band there. And then as we look at the elementaries, and then more focus on kindergarten through 4th grade in those 3 buildings. And what we've been able to do, we were down here at the old Ivy Tech, then Trine at the opposite end of McCord's Do-It Center, for a long time with our alternative school, which we've now named the Academy. We have over 130 kids in the program now. We had our inaugural graduation last June. We graduated 37 kids. And so that's 37 kids that wouldn't have had a high school diploma in the city of Logansport, along with the 31 people we graduated from adult education. 68 people in Logansport that either have a high school equivalency now or a high school diploma. And so I think that's really helpful for our community. And those are the things that we have to do, is just to continue to look for ways to support our kids, their families, and our community, because, I see a school corporation as kind of the big brother of the community, right? And so it's important for us to make sure we play nice in the sandbox with everybody, and we're always looking out to figure out ways that we can help and give back to our community. And obviously the biggest way for us to give back is great educated kids coming out of our school system, no matter what. And I think a lot of times people think of, we went to the name of the Academy instead of the alternative school, because alternative school has such a bad connotation sometimes, right? And so we have students who have a variety of different needs. We have students that work, they go to school all day, and then they go work second shift and get up and come in, or they go work third shift to help support their family, and they still need to get an education. We have kids with medical needs. We just have kids with a lot of different different needs that we need to figure out the normal 7-period brick and mortar of the regular, as we knew it, school day doesn't work for everybody. And so how do we make sure the ultimate goal is to get him a high school diploma? And that's where we're at. Something else we started this year is, preschool. We've got all of our preschool classrooms out at the new school with a preschool wing. And then this year we introduced daycare for staff. And that's been a huge hit. Just trying to come up with ways, how do we continue to support our staff and how do we continue to retain good teachers, right? And so our daycare is full and it's going. And if anybody ever needs a lift, that's the place to go. You can go out there and see a baby or pick up a toddler or whatever, and then you get to leave, right? So, but it's been great.
So Logansport School Superintendent Michelle Starkey, our special guest, and you talked about the mom of linemen. My boy Eli's going to be mad if I don't ask about how Eli and Alex are doing.
They are doing great, actually. We're going down tomorrow. Eli's got Parents' Day for his fraternity, so we're going down. We'll see both boys tomorrow. I've already been to the store, Mom, will you bring this, and this, right? So take the groceries down, and we'll be down there. And I asked Eli what activities are planned, and he's like, it's a surprise. So we'll wait and see what happens. But I'm looking forward to it. Sunday's my birthday, so it'll be a fun time, to spend the day before my birthday with the boys. And time just goes so fast. I tell everybody, when your kids start kindergarten or going to high school, whatever, I'm like, do not blink because it'll be over, and enjoy every single minute of it, no matter how stressed you get.
Yeah, I have a couple more things for you, Michelle, and then we'll let you go. It'd be cool if we had the third person in the booth for the second half, but I know you got to get back to your family.
Yeah, you don't want me up here doing commentary.
I do, but maybe the FCC doesn't. I don't know about that. Right? But I want to give a quick shout out to the school bus drivers. I know Steve Ferris is my bus driver for my daughter Diana, and she was really scared because her brother went to the intermediate school this year, and she wasn't going to be able to ride on the bus. But as soon as she got on the bus, Steve was like all kinds of social with her again because he's been with her, and she was no longer scared. I work up with Diane Geisler, and she's always great.
People.
So let's talk about the bus drivers just a little bit.
We are so thankful for the bus driving staff that we have, and we're finally to the point where we're one route shy of being full, right? We've got a sub list, but we've had teachers. Brian Strong drives the bus now, not all the time, but so that if the athletic team wants to leave early, he went to bus driver school, if you will, and he can drive the kids. Our Jennifer Fishburne, our ag teacher and FFA sponsor, she got hers, so she can take the kids to ag events. But our bus drivers, I tell them every year too, they are one of the most important people in this whole school corporation for our kiddos, because most of the time they might be the first person in the morning that says good morning to a child and the last person that says something positive to them at the end of the day before they get off the bus. And they do such a great job. They really care about the kids, right? They're and we've done a lot to support our staff. We have our own trainer, bus driver trainer, and so just a lot of great things, and you can't ask for any better group of people than we have driving our kids every day.
And you said you might even have a route that somebody could pick up if somebody's listening, needs a job. Maybe they could come in and.
It's a great gig. It's a great gig. We provide all the training. We pay for the training. We pay you while you are training, and then the schedule's pretty good. That's what people say. They love the school schedule, right? And you're around kids. If you want to pick up a few extra routes, you can pick up trips to take athletic teams or any extracurricular team anywhere.
Now, one of my favorite times coming up is homecoming. For the Barry broadcast, always trying to cover homecoming, but, we got the parade, we've got all of the pomp and circumstance around the homecoming king and queen and getting picked. What are some of your favorite kind of things that kind of come up during homecoming? Just the whole, Spirit Week. We have Spirit Week all week.
I love the whole week, and what I love is, I love seeing our kids, just encouraging and supporting one another, because that's such an important skill to have, is just to be a good team player in all of life, right? And so I love the entire week because it's just like a celebration of being a Barry all week long, and it's great. And this year we're even going to have the Alumni Association will be here. So our Alumni Association is in its third year of operation, just kind of picking up steam, and so they're going to be a part of homecoming and give out some teacher grants and or grants. So anyway, we're we're excited about homecoming, and like I said, I absolutely love the entire week. I'm always mad because I could never take part in the Powder Puff game when they had it because I played volleyball, and the volleyball coach wouldn't let you play Powder Puff.
And now it's back.
Yeah, I hear it's
been
back.
gone, but I think
now I'm too old.
yeah, you can't play. I wasn't saying that you should suit up and try to be one of those players like those 90s movies where they dress up an adult as a kid. I guess they might still do that.
I'd probably be the one out there actually tackling people. Like, I get a little too aggressive sometimes.
I love your involvement. And let's just get you off on this. What do you see for the second half here? I mean, what do the Berries need to do, in your opinion?
We need to get back to the blocking that we were doing last week, right?
Yep.
We need to the offensive line needs to get in there and block a little bit better. And then I really think maybe we should try a couple more pass plays.
Yeah.
That's what I said. I think Coach Johnson needs to let me have a headset.
That's right.
I got a little advice for him.
Okay, it's very good.
He makes me. I think I make him laugh sometimes.
All right, well, Michelle, we will let you go. Thank you so much for your time. We can't wait to do it again.
Anytime, guys. Anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Michelle Starkey, our special halftime guest. There's more to come. A halftime score. McCutcheon 14, Logansport 3. There's more to come. Live from Logansport. Welcome back to LMH Stadium and the Logansport Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine halftime show. Our halftime score is McCutcheon 14, Logansport 3. We'll step aside for break. Still more to come live from Logansport.
At the end of the third quarter, we will be announcing the winning ticket number for the game.
Bo said you guys would need some stats. Or you got stats?
What's that?
On Logan Radio. Bo said you guys might need some stats.
Thank you.
And we will announce the number of that ticket.
Thank you very much, Alan James. Welcome back to LMH Stadium, the Logansport Memorial Hospital Sports Medicine halftime show. Special thanks to our halftime guest, Logansport School Superintendent Michelle Starkey. Our halftime score, McCutcheon 14, Logansport 3. We will step aside for break. When we return, we'll have our second half live from Logansport.
it gives you a chance to get yourself a beverage, have the radio or have the YouTube channel up. That way, as soon as you get excited, you can run back in to see just what happened live. So, shout out to all my buddies in the Career Center, whether it be Mike Shannon, who I know is listening, Kai Law, Cynthia Fry, William Lang, which we've been talking about Big Willie style. But now radio going back from commercial.
Welcome back to LMH Stadium, and a big kickoff return by McCutcheon to start the half. Broderick Arnold bobbled the kick, Dave, and sometimes the kicking team lets up just a little bit. And, boy, Broderick Arnold nearly took it to the house inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was scary there, as you were hoping that the Berries would kind of be able to kind of, they've weathered a storm here, but McCutcheon with that run back there and right up the left side and tiptoeing there. Barry's fortunate, though, to get them, and now they got to do a little bit of a defensive stand here so they can get back in this game.
And remind me if you've heard this or not, Dave, but another short field for McCutcheon. They have just dominated field position in this game. Logansport has been up against it all night long field position-wise. Yeah,
I mean, McCutcheon's been able to get a lot of receivers wide open when they pass the ball. That shotgun is just something the Berries haven't seen a lot of this year.
Owen Smith in the gun. Fakes the handoff. Now gives it to Keegan Rice, who's got some running room inside the 20. Brought down short of the first down, I believe. Quentin Danley on the stop there for the Berries.
And I saw Quentin's, I'm guessing, dad, Matt Danley, I went to school with in the stands. It's always nice to call right. Danley on a play.
Yep, all sorts of celebrities. As the youth cheerleaders did their thing, but a lot of them and their families are hanging around on this beautiful night. Logansport down 14-3. McCutcheon has it second down and 1 at the Logansport 16-yard line. Just underway, third quarter. McCutcheon on top, 14-3. Now the pass is caught inside the 15-yard line. He'll have the first down. Aiden Reiser. And the ball comes out, but they're going to say that he was down by contact. It's Tate Strong. There's a plead in his case. He wanted the Berries to get that football, but the officials say down by contact. McCutcheon has it first and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And it seemed like the quarterback, maybe got it released within 2 seconds, so the Berries really unable to do much of a rush, in that situation. Throwing from the shotgun and throwing quick is going to be a really tough cover for the Berries.
Yep, Johnny Moss was coming from on the corner blitz, but couldn't get there in time, as you mentioned. Getting rid of the ball in a hurry is Owen Smith. Now a handoff to Keegan Rice, who breaks the tackle inside the 10-yard line, still on his feet. Inside the 5, very close to the first down. All depends on the spot. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short. But a 9-yard pickup for McCutcheon. Second down and 1 inside the 5-yard line.
This Berry young team still just trying to kind of figure it out here early in the season. These goal line stands, I mean, they've been doing them all night, but we need one more here.
McCutcheon knocking on the door once again, up 14-3, just underway third quarter, 10:03 to go. The Mavericks on top by that 11-point margin. Now Keegan Rice gets the handoff. He'll have the first down as he's brought down from behind. And now a flag comes in late as Lauren Taylor made the tackle, but someone may have a face mask perhaps by the Berries as the back judge threw it in as the Rice was being brought to the ground by Lauren Taylor. We'll check and see as the official comes out, and it is a face mask after the play, so it'll be half the distance. So the Big Willie penalty tracker. Fourth penalty for 22 yards for the Berries. First and goal for McCutcheon.
And, they've been knocking on the door all night. They busted it open in that first half. And, nobody shut the door quite yet.
First and goal for McCutcheon at the 2-yard line. 2 receivers to the right, 1 out to the left. With Owen Smith in the gun for the Mavericks. Keegan Rice to his left in the backfield. Now Ray comes in motion. They'll hand it off to Rice up the middle. And then for a touchdown as Ray, I think, took a couple defenders with him to the corner. And that gave Rice the opening that he needed. Touchdown McCutcheon. It's 20-3.
Yeah, Rice with 34 yards in the first half on 7 carries. And they're with the touchdown. just a kind of, your run-of-the-mill play, run it up the gut, good
Yep.
blocking, and a score. And now the Berries in real kind of emergency time, I'd say, is they really
No
need
doubt.
to start putting points on the board and getting those stops on the other end. And the Berries have been very good this year with the turnover situation. So hopefully they'll be able to get some turnovers here on McCutcheon in the second half and get closer to this lead.
Hayden Wagner drills the extra point through the uprights on the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cast REMC. 9.5 minutes to go, third quarter. McCutcheon scores on their first possession of the half and extends to a 21-3 lead.
Some of the other stats, Joe, in the first half, Logansport leading rusher was Devalier, 7 carries for 56 yards. McCutcheon had Rice, which I mentioned just a minute ago, and was it Scheib that we're going with? Scheib, 9 for 28. In the receiving battle, Logansport, Devalier had 2 receptions for 55 yards, but McCutcheon had Shamar Ray 3 for 49 yards, and Kentz 2 for 20 yards. In the passing game, of course, went down pretty hard. Kind of has been limping around since then. Something must have happened to his ankle, got taped up. He I think he had 55. It says 2 for 4. How many completions did we have in that first half? I don't remember.
Two screen passes to Devalier.
Yeah, just those screen passes. So we really haven't been able to get it down the field at all. Maybe 55 yards on those passes to Devalier. And McCutcheon quarterback with 103 yards, 7 for 12.
So Hayden Wagner with the kickoff, and he will kick it deep. This time, Isaac Russell will field it at the 3-yard line. He will try to set up a return to the left. Gets a good block from Deegan Kitchell, but then Isaac slips and falls shy of the 20-yard line. Brought down at the 17-yard line. That's where the Berries will take over on their first possession of the half, down 21-3.
And this is where we see kind of the psyche of the Berries football team, I think. As they have to continue to be positive, and this is a time where you can go one of two ways. You can kind of feel like you're already beat, and maybe you don't go as hard. Maybe the off receivers don't run as hard. But we need everybody to kind of get in the groove, and we need something good to happen soon.
Skylar Sigmund sends us a score pioneer over Hammond Central, 13-0 midway through the second quarter. Now we get a flag on the play for the snap. And we'll check and see what that's all about. It's going to be offside on McCutcheon. So the Big Willie penalty tracker. 5 penalties, 45 yards for McCutcheon. And it'll be 1st and 5 for the Berries. It gives them a little bit more breathing room out to the 22-yard line for Logansport.
And the Berries have to get out of their own half of the field. It's so important for them to string a couple plays together in this particular drive.
Isaac Russell split out wide to the right. And now we get another flag on the play. As Caden Walker was in motion as the penalty flag was thrown. I don't know if that was perhaps what it is. We'll wait and see. And it's going to be offside of McCutcheon again. So the Berries get a first down on 2 offside penalties by McCutcheon. Lining up in the neutral zone, according to the PA announcer Clay Scott. Big Willie penalty tracker, 6 penalties for 50 yards. For McCutcheon. 1st and 10, Logansport at their own 27-yard line. 9:23 to go, third quarter. Logansport trailing 21-3. Devalier gets a handoff around the left side, and he is it right as he got the ball. Levan Zavon on the stop. Loss of a yard back to the 26-yard line. 2nd down and 11 for the Berries.
Just waiting. The Berries are just the Berries fans here waiting for just that big play that they can cheer for. That doesn't have any sort of penalty attached to it, except maybe on the opponent.
Yep. Well, Bryson Herr with that sprained ankle, or at least twisted ankle, he's gotten it out. He's got an obvious limp, so he's in a lot of pain, but he's gotten it out for his ball club. 2nd down and 11 for the Berries. Now Devalier gets a handoff around the right side, breaks the tackle, still on his feet across the 30, out to the 32-yard line. It's a pretty good blocking that time by the front line of the Berries. A 6-yard pickup. and sets up 3rd down and 5 for the Berries.
And I think conventional wisdom might be, well, we run a lot anyways, and so the quarterback needs that limited mobility.
Right.
But you can tell, the way he limps to hand off and things, that you can't really run a totally efficient offense because he has to get the ball, to the right person and be able to fake it and all that kind of stuff. So, but he's doing his best to kind of bring his Berries back here.
3rd and 5 for the Berries. Now, Baldini gets the handoff. He is going to be short of the 1st down. Good run by Baldini out to the 36-yard line. It will set up 4th down and a yard.
Oh, boy. And, it was on a play like this, a fake, where her got injured before, where McCutcheon was able to get him before he got the 1st down. But
looks like Coach Johnson's going to go for it. He figures, what the heck, McCutcheon's had a great field position all night long. What difference does it make? Let's
we
see
knew
what we can do.
We knew it wasn't going to be a fake kick by her because I'm not sure he can kick it or run.
So tight formation for the Berries. Handoff to Baldini, and he is going to be close to the 1st down. I believe he is going to be short. Good job by that McCutcheon defense. Brought him down about a half-yard short. Looked like he initially had a little bit of a hole. Coach Johnson not happy with the result of that play. And it's going to be, they're going to actually call for a measurement. It looks like he's short based on the position of the football, because the yard marker is across the 37, where the ball is, it looks like it's inside the 37. So I think they're about a half-yard short. But the chain gang will come out, and we'll see. A big measurement here early in this 3rd quarter. 7:26 to go, 3rd quarter. McCutcheon on top, 21-3.
Well, we have a little bit of time here, Joe. Just a shout-out to Dr. Weather, who tells me that he's checking in, listening on the front porch with his son. They just gave him a radio. He says, we're sounding great. Well, our boss hooked us up with some new equipment. So we got some new headsets rocking tonight, if we're a little clearer, even though Joe just a little bit under the weather, coming out of something. So
unfortunately, Dr. Weather, we don't look good. So we got faces for radio. If you can,
he already knows that. He's met us.
No surprise there, Dr. Weather?
He knows us. Mike Franklin, old school friend of mine,
right.
And
Bo Wicker and Steve Isaacs. You were the Daniel Webster crew back in the day.
I'm jealous of his son. He's got that radio on the front porch. I mean, what's better, a little high school football on the front porch?
The measurement came up short, as we suspected, so McCutcheon will take over on downs. 1st down and 10 at the Logansport 36-yard line. Owen Smith on a play-action pass has the ball caught by Reiser inside the 15-yard line. What a throw by Owen Smith, as Isaac Russell had excellent coverage on Reiser, but that was thrown on the money and a big gain for McCutcheon.
Yeah, McCutcheon really hasn't lost a step in any facet. They've had a few turnovers here and there, but otherwise just total domination tonight so far. And Dr. Weather, by the way, says he's listening to us on 1230 because he's old school. He believes in the old school radio. So you can listen to us on FM at 94.9, but if you want the old sound, it's 1230.
25-yard pickup on that pass to Reiser. 1st and 10 for McCutcheon at the 12. Now the handoff to Scheiber on the right side, and he is close to the 5-yard line. They will spot him just shy of the 5. So big gain on 1st down, gain of 7, make it 2nd down and 3.
And, speaking of mics, if they score again, Joe, I think I got to bring out my Mike and the Mechanics references. All we're going to need is a miracle to get back in this game.
I heard that song today, as a matter of fact. So,
one of my favorite songs of all time, I'd say.
Now Tate Strong shaking up on the play. Looks like he's favoring his right wrist, so he'll come out of the lineup. Sidney Latham is there as athletic director. His father, Brian Strong, our halftime guest last week at Wayne Gretzky Field at Broad Ripple High School. 2nd down and 3 from the 5-yard line. It was not Wayne Gretzky Field,
but we think Wayne Gretzky went there.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor. Wayne Gretzky went to Broad Ripple High School for a brief time. Now the handoff to Scheiber on the left side, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. Scotty Barron with great penetration and a tackle for loss for the Berries, and they needed that. On 2nd and short, they're going to need another couple big plays here in the red zone.
Yeah, really nice stuff there by the Berries. Nothing doing on that for McCutcheon. And let's see if we can, get out of here. I mean, a field goal would be great.
Mm-hmm. So it's a loss back to the 8-yard line. So 3rd down and 6. McCutcheon can get a 1st down without getting a touchdown. They need to get down to the 2 to move the chains. Clock running, 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go. 3rd quarter, McCutcheon on top, 21-3. And they are inside the 10 trying to add to this 18-point lead. Owen Smith in the gun. He's got a slant in pass, and it is going to be caught. What a play Well done that time, Parker Sorrells, as he had to reach far out. As that pass was just a little bit out in front of him, but he reeled it in, and a touchdown pass to Sorrells. It is 27-3. McCutcheon with the point after to come.
Yeah, a little bit kind of ahead of him, but no problem there for the guy running the slant, able to just reach out and grab it. Had great trust in his quarterback there, and even though the quarterback kind of bobbled it, he was able to kind of reclaim his grip on it and put it in there.
Snap is good. The hold is good. The kick is up. And the kick is good. On the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Gas REMC. 5:27 to go, third quarter. McCutcheon is on top, 28-3. And where would this game be if not for 4 stops for the Berries defense? With McCutcheon in the red zone, they were turned away 4 different times. As it is, it's 28-3. We'd have one series blowout without some great defense by the Berries.
Yeah, it would have been the reverse of last week with the running clock against us. But the Berries able to figure something out there and stop them. Well, I guess not able to stop them. But we will need a lot more stops tonight to get back in this game down 25 points.
Yep.
That is more than 3/8. So we got 4 possession game.
Well, the Logansport soccer team had themselves a running clock on senior night Wednesday night against Western. If you have a 5-goal lead in the second half, it's a running clock. So
that's interesting.
They led 4-0 at the half, and they scored a goal early in the second half and ended up winning 6-0. But the soccer team had a running clock on senior night, a great night. 12 seniors for Coach Turner, and that squad's getting better and better as the season goes along. Harrison, the odds-on favorite to win that sectional. But don't count the Berries out. They've got a lot of talented kids on that squad. Yeah,
soccer just continues to grow here in town. Every once in a while you go by a local park, you'll see the kids out there kicking it around with their friends and family, and it's fun to see.
Yep. And keep that name Coach Turner in mind, as we might talk to him at some point during one of our halftime shows. You just never know. And here's the kickoff by Wagner, fielded by Chris DeValier. Comes up and out to the 25-yard line, and he is brought down there at the 27. And that's where Logansport will take over on this series of downs, down 28-3.
And you got to wonder how much fight the Berries have in them at this point. It is a daunting task, and we just haven't had a whole lot go right tonight,
no.
Joe. We haven't had a lot of big plays, and coming off of last week where kind of everything was working.
Right.
But tonight, a different story, and of course, kind of almost a quarterback goes out, but he's still hanging in there. But they really just need a couple good plays in a row. 1st and
10 for the Berries at the 26-yard line. DeValier gets the handoff, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage. As he brought down he didn't bring him down. He stayed on his feet. But 4 McCutcheon Mavericks brought him down for a yard loss. Back to the 25, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, I've talked about it before, Joe. I mean, in this day and age, maybe it was always that way, but I know in this day and age, when a team gets you down, they don't let up.
No.
They in fact they go harder, because the better you look, the better you want to look. In this day and age, and so McCutcheon is not going to give up. They're going to in fact go harder at this Berries team, and the Berries just have to try to strike back.
We saw Logansport do that last week against Indianapolis Tech. They had a big lead late in the first half, but they were not content with that, and they dialed up a big pass play to Deegan Kitchen for a touchdown. So, nor should you let up when you have a big lead. When you got your opponent down, you got to finish them off.
Right, and even when they're finished, they'll keep finishing and finishing and finishing. I mean, until the team puts in their backup JV, guys and their young guys. Those varsity guys are going to go after it. But that leads to great rivalries. Logansport being a young team, and we won't have McCutcheon on the schedule as much as we've had in the past, but moving to the Hoosier Conference. But we'll have new rivals, and those rivals will want to beat us as much as we want to beat them. The Berries as a name has never struck as much fear as the Lions or the Tigers or that kind of thing. So everybody wants to come in here and give us a good shot. And
Clay Scott dialed up some Van Halen during that timeout with Bloomington's own David Lee Roth.
Yeah, a little bit of running with the devil there.
Now bubble screen to Isaac Russell. He crossed the 35-yard line. I think he'll have the first down as Pete makes the stop. And Russell's slow to get up as he took a big lick from Pete. And Isaac will come out of the ball game temporarily. We'll have to wait and see where the ball's spotted. Looked like he was going to get the first down. And no indication yet from the official, but we do have a first down for the Berries. A good bubble screen that time from her to Isaac Russell.
Yeah, and we know from, at least me, basketball season, other sports, that Isaac Russell is a guy who never quits and is always ready to run a big play.
Quentin Danley will replace Russell at that split end position. Now the handoff to the left side to Jackson Walker. I beg your pardon, Tate Strong, who was back in there after injuring that wrist just a moment ago. Out to the 39-yard line. Gain of 2, second down and 8 for the Berries. 4 minutes to play, third quarter. McCutcheon with 14 points here in the quarter to extend to a 28-3 lead. This was a scoreless tie after 1. 14-3 at the half. McCutcheon has started to flex their muscles here as the game has gone on. Now Danley out to the right. Caden Walker will get the handoff around the right side. Had some running room, but it was brought down from behind. Nice tackle that time by Brock Finney. No gain on the play. Looks like Jackson had some room to go, but a good tackle from behind by Finney to wipe that out. No gain on the play. Third and long for the Berries.
Do you think that too much success came into play last week, that they felt like they had put it together solidly, and that they
perhaps
could, if they just played it kind of a
very possible
a high energy, that they could make it happen? But this is a big test here, this McCutcheon team.
No doubt. Third and long now. Her back to pass, and he sets up a middle screen to Devalier, makes the catch. And made the first man miss, but that was well defended by the Mavericks. Gain of only 2 on the play. Fourth down.
Berry's had about 5 players kind of down the field pretty far. And
so 2-yard pickup, and that will set up the Berries. And Bryson are really starting to hobble, and he's not going to be able to punt. I wondered because that's his punting foot that was injured. So Caden Walker, the backup punter. I don't believe we've seen Caden punt this year, so first time we've seen young Caden Walker punt it away. High snap, but he's able to come up with it. And he puts a foot into it off the side of his foot a little bit. It does take a Logansport bounce, and we're rolled at about the 39-yard line. But that's tough, Dave. You hadn't punted all year. Your first punt, and it's a high snap, and you got the pressure coming.
Well, I tell you what, we like Caden Walker, and so if you're going to pick somebody, why not him? He seems to do a little bit of everything, but pretty good kick there. Kind of
all things considered,
a medium length kick, but not as bad as we have seen with backups and punting and. Even if it wasn't Her's bad foot, I could imagine him planting on that foot. I mean, the kicking is kind of, you have to plant with one foot and kick with the other, and he doesn't want to do much with that ankle.
McCutcheon has it first down and 10 at the Logansport 39-yard line, and the pass is caught, and breaking the tackle and into the out, and he is finally pushed out of bounds.
Whoa.
It's Christopher Kurtz, but a big gain for the Mavericks.
And that was Groundhog Day, Joe, that looked mighty familiar to what we saw earlier with a near score, but Logansport able to push the runner out of bounds. So that's very good, but now they're stuck in this kind of defense where they got to try to defend the goal again.
First and 10, McCutcheon has it at the Logansport 32-yard line. As we approach 2 minutes to play, third quarter, the Mavericks on top 28-3. Owen Smith once again from the gun. Now handoff to a running back who we have not seen tonight. Marcos Pineda, just a sophomore. Gets a nice gain inside the 25-yard line.
So maybe, I don't think we've really seen the injuries on their side. Maybe them peppering in a little bit of their youngsters to get some playing time against a solid opponent like Logansport. And I think if I was on the other side, I'd probably do that too, maybe even a little bit more.
Second down and 2 for McCutcheon. Now Smith sets up a bubble screen, but it is overthrown. Intended for Shamar Ray. Caden Walker on the coverage. Third down and 2 for McCutcheon.
Joe, I think that my eyesight's finally catching up with me as we've been getting these programs with kind of smaller fonts, and I it's a little bit blurry. It's a little bit blurry for me. So I think this line of work is really starting to affect my sight.
Yeah, that's some serious small font that McCutcheon program is in. Now we see Bryson Herr with his helmet off, limping noticeably. And you wonder if maybe his night is done, as he is really, mobility's really been affected by that ankle injury.
Yeah, you got to hope he heals well.
Yep. Now the handoff to Pineda, no gain on the play. It will set up 4th down and 2.
But on the flip side, Joe, if you're from the athletic department trying to kind of mess with the opposing announcers, font might be the way to go. Give them a little bit of a dot matrix, font. I mean, some printers out there kind of print blurry just straight up to begin with.
Right.
Get that badly converted Word document and print it out.
So 4th down and 2. McCutcheon will go for it at the Logansport 25-yard line. Owen Smith looking over to the sideline to see what the play call is with 2 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right.
4th and 3.
And Keon Scheib in the backfield with quarterback Owen Smith. And now they will pitch to Scheib around the left side, and he's going to be brought down for a loss. What a play by Deegan Kitchell as he smelled that one out.
Yeah.
And brought Scheib down from behind.
Boy, Deegan really turned on the jets on that one. He shot out like a bullet, able to get that runner well short of the first down. And, good news for the Berries. I mean, we're not in the 4th quarter yet. I mean, even if we could do something to end this 3rd quarter on an upswing, we could have a chance to come back. But
yeah, unfortunately, McCutcheon has just dominated the line of scrimmage. The Berries' best offense has been on the passing plays, but it's been tough because of that great pass rush by McCutcheon. So it's pick your poison if you're Logansport on offense. 1st and 10 for the Berries. Herr back to pass. He's got a man wide open, and it is going to be caught, and Caden Walker may take it to the house. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. What a throw by Bryson Herr, and Caden Walker did the rest. 74-yard touchdown pass, and the Berries have some life.
Yeah, he just threw it up up into the air, up into the sky, and it came down right in his receiver's hands. Great call, great catch, and we've seen that from Herr all year long, really. He's able to put the ball right in the basket. And
the kid's doing it on 1 foot, Dave. And he made a perfect throw with a bum ankle. Unbelievable throw.
I mean, I mean, just.
And he gets the hug from Coach Russell for his efforts.
What a great play, tough kid. As the Berries kind of line up here, and not sure what they're going to do, but the fireworks get set off, and
looks like they're going to go for the point after there is a flag on the play.
I think several receivers seem to be open on that, but I mean, you got to land on one of them, and that was a beaut. These receivers very good at running under the ball and catching it in stride.
It's going to be offside on McCutcheon. The Berries will accept the penalty. They can move it a yard and a half. So Dylan Ham will have a little bit shorter an extra point, and he's got more than enough leg. Of course, a field goal late in the first half from Dylan Ham. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up. And the kick is good on the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cast REMC. 33 and a half seconds to go, 3rd quarter. It's McCutcheon 28 and Logansport 10. So maybe the 2 longest plays this year, Dave, the Walker brothers. Jackson with that long kickoff return against Kokomo, now 74-yard touchdown pass to Caden Walker.
I tell you what, the Walker brothers may be some names that we're calling here for a good couple years here. They've really showed off this year. They've been really a bright spot for this team. And, of course, we've seen Caden and all we've watched a lot of JV games up for the Berries. And, he'll probably, I imagine, be playing some varsity minutes this year. And
no doubt.
Those are just tough kids, and they have a passion for it, and that's really always good to see.
Speaking of passion, Blake Isaacs is loving the music that Clay Scott is dialing up. We've got some Led Zeppelin, the Immigrant Song, on the heels of Van Halen. So Clay cranking up to some acid rock back in the day.
We also have one of my fabulous former students over there, Colby. I wonder if Colby's calling up some of these as well, because that kid has that kind of vibe. Like,
he does.
He's got that kind of old soul, as they say. So Colby, shout out to Colby, a former board op of ours, a sports producer, and just all over the place. McHale, you see him in McHale. You see him up in the press box here. Sometimes he's at the radio station, but one reliable student right there.
Well, if Blake Isaacs ever happens to see him at a coffee shop, he might give him a cup of coffee for his outstanding music choice. 33.5 seconds to go, third quarter. McCutcheon 28, Logansport 10. Brandon Diaz to kick off for the Berries. And a squib kick is fielded by Keegan Rice. He will set up a return right up the middle. Now cuts it to the outside and he gets to the edge across the 35, across the 40. And out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for McCutcheon.
Of course, the YouTube crowd, I see them on there. I think about 19 on LHS Berries on YouTube. They're getting to listen to us, but we're predicting the future for them a little bit. I think we're maybe about 30 seconds ahead or so. They're about to kick off on the YouTube, but just think of it as a bonus. You're getting to see the future. Right. That way, if you're at the refrigerator trying to figure out something to eat and we're not yelling and screaming, then you got a minute. So there you go.
First and 10, McCutcheon has it at their 40-yard line. The two receivers spread out wide to the right, one to the left. The handoff to Scheib around the right side. Tries to get to the edge. We got a flag on the play. Tackle by Caden Walker. But that's in the area of offensive holding, and that is the call. The Big Willie. Penalty tracker. Penalty number 7 for McCutcheon. Now for 60 yards. In case you're just joining us, Aldair Zarate during senior night gave a special shout out to Big Willie, a.k.a. Matthew William Lang II. So one of his assistant coaches from back in the day for the soccer team. So in Coach Lang and Aldair's honor, we're calling it the Big Willie penalty tracker tonight.
I don't want to break a house secret, but he may very well have the first name of William. It may be William Matthew. But, of course, he goes by Matt, or he asks you to call him the man, or Dean, or Coach Dean. He makes me call him all these things.
First and 20 now. Owen Smith rolling out to pass. The pass is broken up and almost intercepted. Isaac Russell deflected it, and Caden Walker with a near miss as he just missed that one. Outstretched fingertips. Couldn't bring it in. Second down and long.
Roy, great deflection. It went up in the air and just had a berry just almost in the region. But he jumped for it, but unfortunately wasn't close enough to make that catch.
Second down and 20 for McCutcheon with 1.5 seconds to go. So barring a penalty, this will be the final play of the third quarter. Smith in the gun with two receivers to the left, two split out wide to the right. Keon Scheib in the backfield with him. Oh, man, in motion. Owen Smith will hand it off to Scheib, and he's brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Nicely done that time from Deegan Kitchell. No gain, and that will do it for quarter number 3. On the scoreboard, sponsored by Broadway Broadband, powered by Miami Cast REMC. We move to the fourth quarter. It's McCutcheon 28, Logansport 10. There's more to come live from Logansport.
The number is 7, 1, 6, 8, 6.
Well, YouTube folks, we're at commercial right now, so may get to do some talking to you as we go. Hopefully, Logansport will be able to figure out their feed to be as live as our radio.
Looks like we got Coach Lundy and Mrs. Coach Lundy.
You're missing that classic Logansport Savings Bank commercial where the old lady explains how to do her phone checking in. That's one thing I love about Logansport, though, is classic commercials.
That's right.
All right, back to the air.